Hi everyone, welcome to another amazing interview. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Orvel Douglas. Orvel has been fruitarian for 11 years. He's living in New York currently. He's a fit athlete, he's big into his calisthenics, and also he's 59, believe it or not, almost 60. He's a granddad, even though he looks younger than most dads. But yeah, I don't want to butcher the intro too much, so I'm going to let Orvel introduce himself. So could you just give a quick intro for the people, just a little bit about your journey, just a brief summary, what led you to this lifestyle?
Okay, so my name is Orvel Douglas, and I've been a fruitarian for 11 years, and I've been following the vegan, well, fruitarians follow the vegan lifestyle because there's no animal products. So I've been doing that for the past 26 years. Now, what led me to the life of fruitarianism, which I didn't realize I'd end up being a fruitarian, but it was a vegan at the beginning. And the reason I chose a vegan diet is because when I went to school for nutrition, I found out that, in my eyes, vegan was the most healthiest diet for a person. And me, before that happening, as a younger age, as a say like a teenager, my parents or my aunts and uncles who were say like in maybe in their 30s at the time, they were always fit and healthy. And then by the time people get like 40 years old, then they always seem to be sick. Something
Mm.
always happens. So I just thought to myself, I was more of a thinker, and I said, well, that's got to be my destination. And I didn't want it to be my destination, So I just decided to go on a journey of health, and it was through veganism, eating vegan food, exercising. And I learned about, before I went to vegan, I was reading fitness and nutrition books, and then it would talk about veganism. But when I went to school and got the full aspect of the vegan diet, then I said, something, this is for me because I wanted to, as I got older, I wanted to be well. I wanted to be well for my family.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that resonates a lot with me as well because I've heard you talk about you kind of adopt this lifestyle as a prevention measure because a lot of people in this movement they come into it needing to heal, they're chronically ill, but
Right.
I can relate to you quite strongly because I myself I'm always looking for like the optimal diet or the optimal thing for performance, and I'm always thinking long term. So that's a really great mindset to have. So how many years ago did you first discover the vegan diet?
Oh, well, I've been a vegan for 26 years. So it was basically before that when I was reading up on it, but when I decided to become vegan, it was like 26 years ago.
Yeah,
That's what it was. And from there, I never went back at all.
yeah, and then
Never made
what?
any slips or go back to meat. Never happened
Yeah,
because that light bulb moment went off and it was time to do it.
so for
Yeah.
you it was for the health reasons.
For the health reasons, because as I said, I'm a thinker and I observe things, and I just see that when people get to a certain age, you
Yeah,
know, they get sick, and so I know, every single day that passes, we're getting closer to a certain age. So I knew that probably would be my destination if I didn't do it, and I'm glad I did it because, like, at almost 60 years old, it's like a lot of my friends at the time thought I lost my mind. Well, like, you're not doing it, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
They were young as well, but now they're the ones who have all these health issues.
yeah,
And they're the ones who are coming to me. A lot of them have even died, but they come to me and asking me for. And I'm glad because I can touch wood and say, okay, you know, at this age, I've reaped the benefits of doing it for so long because I
yeah,
don't have any aches or pains. I don't have any health issues or anything like that. I just live life just like I was 20 years old. I'm able
yeah,
to do whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to say I can get around. I haven't slowed down in any sense. Actually, I've got even better, when it comes to being physically fit, enjoying life and being able to do what I want to do.
yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing
Yeah.
because, like you
Yeah.
say, most people deteriorate when you look around you and you just
Yes.
observe the choices they're making and the results they're getting. That's why it's so good that you've been doing this long term. Because it's one
Yes.
thing to try out a diet for a month or a couple months or a year, but when someone's thriving long term, it's just, it's really good to see. And
Yes, absolutely.
yeah. So from the vegan 26 years ago, what was the next progression? Raw
But the next,
vegan?
yeah, the raw vegan, yeah, the raw vegan is just something I didn't really know. I just saw something about raw vegan, and then then I just read about it. I was just like, I want to give this a try because I'm open to trying stuff. As long as it's staying on the vegan path, I'm open to try it. So, I went on the Facebook group. I think the first Facebook group, it was called, I think the group was called Raw and Delicious, lady by Tony Allen, she ran the group, and and I just learned a lot from her. You know, that's about how to how to prepare raw foods and stuff like that. And it was great. Don't get me wrong, it was a great diet, but for me, it just took too much time because a lot of times
Yeah.
you want to, I mean, you can even have a basic salad, which I've never been a salad person anyway, which is easy. But yeah, like, the raw vegan gourmet foods where you make like flax crackers, you put it in the dehydrator for like
Yeah.
20 hours. To me, it was just too long, but I did
Yeah.
enjoy the food. But so I just wanted something more simpler. And then I did that for about 3 years. I think like about 3 years. And then I just was just eating fruit. It's just like I was just I didn't say I want to become a fruitarian, read off anything, nothing like that. I just started to eat fruits. I was just eating fruits. Then I realized that's all I'm eating because I'm always on the go. And fruits was, what I mean, I can just take it with me, peel it, or if I don't have to peel it, and just bite it and eat it. And I'm content, and I love fruits and stuff like that. And and I'll just eat until I feel satiated.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's the same for me because I'm a simple guy as well. I don't want to be in the kitchen. I think,
Right.
yeah, yeah. So it really resonates.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
yeah.
like you say, just like peel an orange or something like that, have it on the go, and it makes you
Absolutely.
feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And
yeah, it makes it feel good. Yeah.
yeah, it's quite interesting how you intuitively found it because a lot of people have influences. Obviously, we all have influences, but
Right.
listening to your story on other podcasts, to me, it sounds like it just made complete sense to you. The simplicity, how you looked and felt, and you just kind of found the lifestyle that way. Is that correct?
That's correct because as I said, my teacher, as I said, I'm a thinking observer, and my teacher is nature. That's where I get my teachings from nature. I
Yeah,
actually watch nature because if you look at all the animals in nature, they live a very simple life. It doesn't matter what they're eating, but it's very when it comes to their diet, whether it's a carnivore, what they the lions or the primates, their
yeah,
diet is very very simple. There's no no difficulty in it. They're just eating a couple of items in their, they just eat a couple of items in their lifetime. But we as humans, we think we need all these different things, these different combinations of all
yeah,
these things. And then you got to lack this, you got to lack that, you got to lack this, you got to lack that. And I says, to me, it doesn't work like that. I don't think personally, and I know it doesn't work like that because I tell people I'm just living proof of what I do. And it doesn't work like that. The simpler the diet, the longer you live and the better you feel. Too much
yeah.
conflict, too much difference, this and that, because we all, people trying to find the perfect diet, they're complicating everything and they still remain in the same state of where they are at the beginning, which is sick. They never seem to get better.
Yeah, it's true. And they're always
Mm-hmm.
looking for like some herb or treatment or
Herb,
cleanse.
some
Yeah,
herbal treatment. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Because if, like you say, if you look in nature, it's always mono meals or one or
yeah.
two things.
One or two
And
things. That's it. Yeah,
yeah, and people always say, yeah, but we're not like animals. But then we're the only species, us, cats and dogs, so everything that has human influence that
right,
actually has these diseases.
right.
Everything else in nature, it will die of natural causes or an accident. Or
Absolutely.
yeah, they
Yeah,
don't have these diseases, do
they
they?
don't have these diseases because those animals, those domesticated animals we have, we're feeding them the same diet.
Yeah,
They're getting cataract, they're getting cancer, they're getting high blood pressure. You got a dog with diabetes. That just sounds absurd. Just like it doesn't make
yeah,
no sense. It really
yeah,
doesn't. It's just like so people don't think of these things and stuff like that. Yeah, we are part of nature. We are part of nature. We just disconnected from it. That's all it is. But when you connect back to it and look around and see how things really are, that's what it's about.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I was interested in like a day in the life. So I know you get up quite early, but could you
yeah.
talk the people through like a day in the life? So, uh, what time you get up, usually
Hmm.
what you eat, because it's quite interesting. You only eat
Right.
one meal a day, and yeah, your exercise routine. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'll let you
yeah,
share.
yeah. It's very, I wake up, I eat like every 12, 24 hours or so. And I always have to say this in all the interviews. It's not intentional. I'm not trying to eat once a day. It's just that's all my body needs. So I just eat once a day because that once a day keeps me satiated. Yeah, when I eat, if I wanted to eat more, I could, but I
Yeah,
don't have to because I feel satiated. I like that light feeling, but a feeling of hunger, never escalates. So that feeling that I have after I eat, when I know I could eat more, it's exactly the same throughout the 24 hours. Nothing escalates. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to eat something or blah. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
So I usually eat right midday, or sometimes it may be even later, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. Depends what I'm doing and how I feel. So maybe later on in the evening. Right now, my timing is kind of off, but it's still over 24 hours because now I'm probably eating around 7 p.m. right now
Okay.
because I kind of went over, but kind of, but I'm still eating once a day. So I get up around 4 o'clock in the mornings. My gym is open at 5. I'll go to the gym and I'll
Yeah.
work out in the gym. And after that, that's it. I won't eat until, so if I go to the gym, say, as I say, 5 o'clock in the morning, I won't eat again till 7 p.m. That when I come back home, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. that night, I'll have always like a mono meal, like maybe grapes. So I don't really like fruit salads mixed together. The only time I like fruits mixed together, me personally, is when I make a smoothie. But that I tell people that's preference. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
Eat fruits, fruit salad or mono. It doesn't matter, and that's what it is. So that's when I eat, and I also don't drink anything either because I'm hydrated through the fruits that I had from
Yeah.
from the day before, which it sounds kind of crazy. But you say how this? I said I have no idea. But this is how I feel,
Yeah.
and I'm not thirsty, and I don't go against. Someone told me, oh, you need to eat 5 times a day, or you need to drink 8 glasses of water. I don't follow any of that. It's all good if people want to follow whatever they believe in, but I follow what I feel.
Mm.
So if all the crowd is going that way and I'm coming the opposite way, if I think it's right, it's right. And I'm not gonna determine because everyone else is doing it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And there's so many things to unpack there. But
Yeah.
the water thing, a lot of people, like you say, they have this number in their head, like 6 to 8 glasses, blah blah blah.
Right.
But I think for me, maybe an explanation of why you don't feel thirsty is because you're not eating or doing things that dehydrate the body. So
Absolutely.
yeah, you're consuming these high H3O2 watery
Right.
fruits,
Absolutely.
and then you're not doing anything or eating anything dehydrating. So then your cells are still hydrated.
Yeah.
But
And the interesting thing is, if I every now and then I may eat some raw vegan food. Not
yeah,
not, not even gourmet because I have one of my favorite restaurants I go to in Washington DC and I travel there. Their food is really good and light. But even when I go there, if I eat one of my favorite foods, maybe after the meal is over, I have to drink water for the rest of the
yeah,
night because I'm just thirsty.
hmm,
So I'm really thirsty. My throat is parched. So I'll keep on drinking. By the morning, I may be a little hydrated, but that's what happens. So that's that from one meal.
yeah,
So it just shows me the test that even though I'm not consuming water, that water from fruits like H3O2 is really keeping me hydrated on your cellular level for X amount of hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So how do you feel about the more dense fruits like bananas or dates, things like that? Do you personally ever eat them?
Yeah, I use bananas and dates when I'm making smoothies.
Yeah,
So that's the only time I usually eat them. Very rarely I'll eat a banana because I'm not really great on the taste. But I like the bananas for creaminess. It makes the smoothie creaminess because
yeah,
when I make my smoothies, I also use dates as well. I'm using dates for sweetener, and I just
yeah,
blend the dates up with a little bit of water, add the banana. So a lot of people when they make smoothies, they use some kind of milk, some kind of coconut milk for creaminess. Well, I found with the bananas and water, you get the same consistency of creaminess. Like if you're using like coconut milk or
yeah,
almond milk, that's what you get. So that's the reason why that's when my dates and bananas come in. But I know if I'm not having a smoothie, like even tonight, I think I may even have a smoothie. So that's what I would do. And yeah, and that would be it.
yeah. And how do you feel about smoothies? Do you feel like they still digest well? Do you
Yeah,
have any issue? Yeah,
yeah. Smoothies. I have no issues with
yeah,
smoothies. Smoothies digest well, but it's always better to eat your food, like chew your fruits and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just fruits, just blended. You know what I mean? And
yeah. It's
it's not.
convenient.
Yeah, not. I'm not juicing it, so
Yeah,
I'm still getting everything within that fruit, stuff like that. And I'm not really. kind of like, you know, strict, like, oh, I need to not make a smoothie because blah blah blah. No, I'm not even like that. You know, if I
Yeah.
feel like a smoothie, I'm gonna have one. One thing I'm against is juicing. I like juices. Don't get me wrong. You know, I like orange juice, fresh orange juice. I'll drink that every now and then. But I'm not one big on if I, people do juice cleanses and stuff like that, which is fine, whatever people do. But I don't think that's really, a great way, because you're stripping all that fiber where you're taking all that essential fiber,
Yeah.
which is, I tell people, that's the food for the gut. Your immune system's within your stomach, and they feed off fiber. That's their food. So if
Yeah.
you're just giving them juice, even though people do recover from illnesses and lose weight, but the thing is, when they go back to the regular diet, that weight comes right back on. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it seems like a lot of people are addicted to the stimulation of juices as well, aren't they? They love
Right,
it.
right.
Um,
Yes.
yeah. I was just going to say, with the smoothies, do you sip them quite slowly? Because I know a lot of people say maybe chew them or
Yeah, I
kind
don't
of.
even, nah, I don't even bother with that. I just drink.
That's fair
I just
enough.
guzzle them and then put it down, because usually I'm just the whole picture, maybe like a 48 ounce of,
Yeah.
I'll have the whole picture. So I don't put it in the glass. I just keep it in there and, just drink it until and it's very filling,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really filling, the whole picture anyway, 48 ounces. And that's it. I'm good. I feel, it's more a more fuller feeling than eating the fruits. And what I mean by that, it's more of I'd say a little uncomfortable, not stuffed, but a little uncomfortable if you compared to if you're just eating the fruits by itself.
Yeah.
The fruits is a much lighter feeling. When I drink the whole smoothie like that, yeah, it feels a little not uncomfortable, a little kind of funny, but
Yeah.
not bad, because it's okay, because I'm not eating the game for the next. I'm not gonna eat for the next 24, 36 hours anyway. So, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I guess because like usually you'd chew your food more and maybe you'd eat a little
right,
less, but then it
right.
kind of bypasses those natural
Right, and probably the
sort of.
water content that's added in, so
Yeah.
I add a little bit of distilled water to blend the dates up, and the yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you. So if you were to drink water or when you use smoothies, you
Uh-huh.
make smoothies, do you strictly use distilled water
Yeah,
or
distilled water. Yeah,
yeah,
I
you'd
strictly use
never
distilled
use
water.
spring or
I never use spring water. No.
no? How do you feel about spring water?
Well, I feel spring water is it has inorganic minerals that the body
Yeah.
cannot use. And a lot of people, oh yeah, you got these minerals, yeah, blah 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 blah. And I said, something, the best way to test spring water, whatever water you have, doesn't matter, how much you pay for it, whatever. Put that spring water through a distiller, and then come back and let me know what you see left in that distiller. And I
Yeah.
said, those little hard rock pieces of particles that you see in the distiller from your top wall of spring water, those are the things that are left inside the body. The
Yeah.
body cannot digest those inorganic minerals. You put distilled water, you just like a regular distilled water, put it through a distiller, it's got to be pure. You're not going to see any bits in the bottom.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, you need minerals. You don't need minerals from water. You need minerals from food, because the minerals in food is organic. The body can assimilate them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, even if you just look at your regular tap water, or in the bathtub or whatever, or a dripping faucet, you look at that stuff that's left behind. The dripping faucet leaves a mark on the thing, and you see that calcification of rocks on there. That's what's going in your body. You don't see it when you're drinking it, but that's
Mm.
like when all that process is happening. That's what's
Yeah.
left in your body.
Yeah. It makes complete sense
Yeah,
because, like you say, the inorganic minerals and the rock, like you're going to turn into a rock, or it's
right.
gonna have that kind of same effect inside the
Yeah,
body.
it calcifies the joints, because what I found, people who's under my guidance when it comes to health and nutrition, and I put them on distilled water and fruit, they think they had arthritis, but like a week later, there's no more pain.
Yeah.
Because what that does, the distal wall is as like a negative ion, and it will pull out whatever inorganic minerals within the tissues of the body. That's what it does. It pulls it out.
Yeah.
So I can say basically everybody who have some kind of joint pain, and they do say, like, even just for a week, the pain is usually gone. You know?
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we wouldn't clean a machine with spring water. We use distilled water, don't we? So
Absolutely. And I was also in hospitals, people do not use, when they're using for their machines, what they're using, they don't put spring water in or anything
No.
like that. Industries use distilled water because if it doesn't, it's gonna damage the machine, and they're gonna buy a new one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. Just linking back to what you were saying earlier about the 1 meal a day,
Hmm.
people might be wondering, how do you gauge how much you eat? Now, I've heard you say you just eat until you're satiated.
Right.
So, do you have a rough estimate of how much you eat? Like, just say,
Like grapes, maybe like grapes or something like that. Maybe,
yeah, just a
yeah,
typical meal.
about 2 or 3 pounds. About 2 or 3 pounds of
Okay,
grapes. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot for me. It really doesn't.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. Because how do you feel about the calorie model? Because
Yeah.
there's yeah. How do you feel about the calorie model?
I don't count calories. I don't believe in calorie counting because how can you tell somebody you're a certain age or certain size or whatever you need a certain amount of calories? It doesn't work like that because number one, if a person needs more calories, they will naturally know. The calorie monitor says I need to eat this amount, but I'm so hungry. Then the common sense thing is just eat. Now there's a
Yeah,
person at the same age who, they're both the same age, may not they eat the, they eat the amount they suppose they asked to eat, and it may be too much for them. So what do? Do you stuff your face until you reach that number?
no,
No. you know.
yeah.
So that's what. So it's to me it's all outdated. Calorie counting, blah blah blah. It's all about how you feel. Animals in nature do not calorie count. I mean, a lot of them are eating all the time because they don't calorie count. They don't
Yeah.
calorie count.
Yeah, and also, how do you feel about like, the saying, for example, a banana is 100 calories? Well, obviously that's going to vary depending on the ripeness of the banana, the
Right,
size, the quality. How do
right.
you feel? Do you feel like fruit quality impacts the so-called calories or the energy?
I don't even know. I don't even. I really don't look at anything. When I'm eating, I don't look at anything like that. I just
Yeah,
eat.
yeah,
If I have the fruit in front of me, as long as the fruit is ripe, then I'm gonna eat it. I don't eat unripe fruit,
yeah,
because it's not good. So once the fruit is ripe, I just eat it. It doesn't matter. I don't. I know a lot of people. The question you asked me, they're always thinking about this and thinking about. They're making it too technical.
mm,
It's just too technical. I'm just a simple guy. I just want to eat when I'm ready to eat, and that's it.
yeah. I think that's a great message. Just the simplicity,
Yeah,
and it's often when we overcomplicate things that we run into issues.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I've got so many questions. There was
Right.
one on my mind. It's about leafy greens.
Uh
So,
huh.
like lettuce, like soft,
Right.
tender leafy greens. Do
Right.
you eat them or do
I
you
know.
crave?
I don't crave for any of that. Yeah, I have no craving whatsoever. If I go to a raw vegan, obviously they'll be in there. So of course, but I don't crave. I don't crave for those things because we we our body runs on sugar. Every single cell in the body runs sugar, and we get all that sweetness from the fruits. That's all I crave.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't crave it at all.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
And in terms of like fasting, have you personally experimented with water fasting or dry fasting or
Oh
anything like
yeah,
that?
yeah. Well, I've experimented with water fasting before I became vegan. Actually, when I became vegan, I was reading up books. So I used to do I was doing 21 days, 4 times a year
Wow.
of water fasting. That's what I was doing. I did that for like 15 years straight.
Wow.
Every year, that's what I did. So I've experimented with all that. But as time gone on, I think that may have probably prepared me for where I'm at now because all those things are like cleansing and stuff like that. Dry fasting, I guess I do it, but I don't because for me it's not right now because it's not intentional. And
Yeah.
I guess when I'm not eating for 24 hours, people would say it's fasting, but for me it's not a fast because this is what something
Yeah, it's
naturally
a lifestyle.
occurring
Yeah.
right now because I don't have a desire to eat anything and I don't have a desire to drink anything. For yes, I would be saying I'm dry fasting, but it's not something that I practice. I know a lot of people do practice it. As I said in the earlier days, I practiced water fasting, and water fasting, is really good. It took a lot of discipline,
Yeah.
I was just, as a new to the lifestyle, I was reading all these different books, you know what I mean? I think I was reading, what's his name? I think it's Miracle of Water Fasting, Paul Bragg's. That's one of the books I read, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of stuff like that. So yeah, so I did all that. I did that in the past, but now it's just like this lifestyle is kind of opened me up to. It seems like it's opened up my would you say like third eye, and I'm just absorbing information from
Yeah.
the universe. I'm just getting more aware of things and what's going on, the way
Hmm.
things are, and it has all boiled down to being simple. That's all it is. And and doing eating fruits, we get the same benefits as water fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I definitely believe it can open the third eye,
yeah,
decalcify the pineal gland,
yeah.
all sorts. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, just because you're fruitarian or raw vegan doesn't make you spiritual." That is
Right.
true,
That's
but
true. Yeah, yeah.
one thing I would observe is a lot of the people who go into this lifestyle tend to become more high vibrational as a result,
Absolutely. Yes.
because obviously every food has an energy, doesn't it?
Yes.
And as
Absolutely.
we raise our vibration and frequency, we're going to
Right.
experience those benefits.
It's
But
all electrical. Everything's electrical.
exactly, yeah, the body, I think it's like a certain amount of trillion volts the body is. I
Right.
can't remember. It's some ridiculous amount. Don't quote me on it, but
Right. Right. I have
yeah,
no idea.
yeah. But a lot of people
Yeah.
might be thinking like, that's all good for you. You're a really
Right.
disciplined guy, but
Right. Right.
it's not right for me. What would you say?
Right.
How can people get started?
I even say you'll never know until you try. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you have to get anywhere in life, whatever you're doing, you got to step out of your comfort zone. You have to, and you
Yeah,
have to go into that go into that uncomfortable zone, and then that's where it comes in. That's how you deal with things. If you can deal in that uncomfortable zone, a lot of the other stuff that you used to do in your past life will become a distant memory. But you
yeah,
have to put yourself through that. Nothing's easy. Don't It's not easy at all. But if you are sick and you want to get well, these are the things you need to do. Because you have to think about, it's not just thinking about you, what about your family members? If you got kids or grandkids, you want to be here for them. You don't want to be snuffed out
yeah,
before your time. That's the bottom line.
yeah.
It's always
Exactly.
about the reason why. Think about why you want to do it, and then, and that's that's why I have my fruit feast challenge group, because I get people from all walks of life, and this is I try to guide them through that transition phase.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard some amazing testimonials from your group. Would you be able to share maybe like the best one or the most kind of miraculous
There's so many.
tell?
There's so many,
Yeah,
man. But I'll share a couple.
yeah,
I have one lady. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in October 2022,
yeah.
and by November, December, she had a tumor on the breast. The tumor got really big, got bigger, and she did my January challenge, and 20, I think it's the 28th of January, before the challenge is even over, the lump had basically disappeared.
Wow.
Just gone. After 28 days, after being diagnosed, it was getting bigger and bigger, and then once you just went to fruits,
Just on fruits.
yeah, yeah, it just went. Then I had a friend of a friend contacted him because he had some kind of kidney problems, and he just didn't know what to do. The doctor told him his numbers at 15, and he may probably eventually need a kidney transplant. And he's really, really deflated. He doesn't know anything about fruitarian. And a friend of him said, "Oh, no, this guy, blah blah blah. And this guy really wants to live."
Yeah,
So he gave him my number, and he called me, and I told him about it. And he said, "Well, you know what I mean." He said, "I'm willing to do anything," and that's the type of attitude I like to hear, because a
yeah,
lot of people, so they say, "So can I have this? Can I have that?" That's a lot of time when people say that, then I know they're not really ready.
yeah,
When they said, "Oh, can I?" So can I said, "You have to eat fruits, but I cannot eat salad. I cannot eat this meat." I said, "No." He didn't say any of that. He said, "I'm ready. I'm really ready, because I just don't want this to happen." Within 30 days, his number went from 50 to 44. His
wow.
numbers went up. He's out of the danger zone. And this was early on. And his number, and I spoke to him not that long ago, and his numbers are still climbing.
Amazing.
Uh, yeah, I've had people. I had a lady. She had a cyst on her finger for 3 years, and after 9 days, it was gone. Never returned. She was gonna get surgery after this was last year. She was gonna get surgery after the fruit feast challenge was over. After 9 days, it was gone, and it hasn't returned. Never returned.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You hear of all sorts as well, like people clearing up their vision, obviously their skin,
Right.
just
Yeah.
everything. It's
Yes.
all linked,
Yeah. It's all
and
linked.
it's so simple, but most people, they think it's too simple to work, don't they? They think,
Yeah.
how can
That's
fruits
what they.
possibly
Yeah.
heal
They
the
think it's
body?
so. Yeah. And I say that's what we're supposed to eat. And the reason why people don't get benefits from fruits because fruits has to be eaten alone to get the benefits.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
cannot mix them with anything else.
Especially, yeah, I've heard you talk about diabetes, and it makes complete
Yeah.
sense
Yeah.
because a lot of people tend to pile on the fruit on top of other stuff or with
Right.
fats, and it
Yeah.
conglomerates in the system.
That's exactly, and that's what causes diabetes. Fruits doesn't have anything to do with diabetes. Those people who got like diagnosed with diabetes, they were eating a bad diet in the first place. They wasn't eating. It wasn't like I've never heard one person who's eating healthy diet like a raw vegan diet, a low fat vegan diet, or what. I've never heard
Yeah,
anyone say that they're called diabetes. It's always people who are. It's basically diabetes is an animal fat and animal protein disease.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's true. Because a lot of people are like, oh, it's the fruit that's the problem. But like you say, it's
Yeah.
the other things that are
Yeah,
combining with.
the fruit has nothing to do. The fruit will make your sugar levels go up, but that's not what causes diabetes in the first place. You got to get to the source of it. When you get
Yeah,
to the source of it, then you won't have a problem eating fruit.
yeah, it's true. It's
Hmm.
true. And in terms of conventional versus organic, how do you feel on that topic? Because a lot of
Um,
people
mhm.
use it as like, they'll say, oh, I can't get organic. Should I still eat like grapes maybe
Conventional.
or something like that? How do you
Yeah,
feel about that?
I tell people still do it. Still do it because in my observation, I always go by observation and not what
Yeah,
people say. They talk about pesticide, blah blah blah. I don't even go by that, because I go by real life people's experience. If you can afford organic and you can get organic, yeah, fine. Organic is always going to be better. But what I've noticed that most of the people in my fruit challenge, a lot of them they couldn't afford organic and they couldn't get it anyway, and
yeah,
they just ate the conventional fruit and they still reverse their diseases. So
mm,
that just told me something. Do the best you can. If you can get organic, yeah, if you can afford it, fine. But if not, it's fine. It's not going to be worse. It's not going to be worse than what you was eating before.
no,
So
yeah,
definitely not. So yeah,
and yeah. Also, what I've realized is it's kind of not what you're putting in your body; it's what you're not putting in your body.
absolutely, yeah.
Because the fruits are so light, like you say, it gives so much time for detoxing or cleansing or healing the body. Would
That's
you
right.
agree with that? Would you say?
Yeah, I agree with it because fruits. It puts your body in the environment to heal because
Mm,
fruits don't heal you. The body heals itself. But because fruits are so light and they digest very, very quickly within 30 minutes or so, then, the high water fruits anyway, your body's gone back to healing. Um, other foods take too long to digest. When people eat breakfast, by the time they eat lunch, breakfast hasn't been digested.
yeah,
And by the time they go to sleep, that's when finally digestion is taking place. Then they restart again in the morning and start to eat. It's not enough time. So eating fruit gets you on empty very quickly, and throughout the day you'll be, after 30 minutes, it doesn't matter how many meals you had, fruit meals you've had in that day. After 30 minutes or so, you're gone back to digest to healing because the body cannot digest and heal at the same time. It's impossible. It's either
yeah,
one or the other.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So you're a pretty active guy, like you're fit, you've got decent muscle mass, lean, but not like
Right.
this bodybuilder physique, like
No, no, no.
this,
I would never get
yeah,
like that because I'm a naturally slim person,
yeah,
so that wouldn't happen. Maybe uh, someone who may be built, what I mean, like naturally, they work and they got those natural big muscles and they eat fruit. People say, oh, that would never work. Yeah, it works. It works. It all goes, I tell people, it all goes down the type of genetics you have. It doesn't matter. If you have, it's just like in bodybuilding or people eating meat. You got people of all different sizes. Everybody doesn't look the same, so not
mm,
everybody in a fruitarian lifestyle or raw vegan lifestyle, they got to look the same. They're not going to look the same because all boil down to genetics.
yeah. And you don't eat excessive quantities of food. Like you could
No.
force yourself to eat more, maybe get unnaturally big. But I think for the longevity, you're almost 60 now, but you look so much younger. And is that your main focus, longevity? Just being there for the family?
Yeah, that is one of my focuses, longevity and being healthy, and
Mm,
that's what it is. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with myself. I'm comfortable with the way I look. I
yeah,
feel great.
yeah,
That's priceless. I'm
yeah,
trying to say? Nobody can tell you. So people could be like bodybuilding and stuff like that, but how do you feel inside? I'm trying to. It's all like if you feel fit and well and you can do everything, that's the bottom line. You want to be able to continue. I have, as I said, I have my granddaughter. She's 21. I have a
wow,
4-year-old grandson who I've never met. I'm going to meet him in a couple of months on my birthday. He's four
amazing.
years old. I'm going to be able to run around with him. I'm
Yeah,
not going to be sitting in no rocking chair, armchair, kind of
no,
watch him run around. I can't do anything with him. No, it ain't going to be like that.
yeah,
And to me, that's priceless.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I think that's a powerful message
yeah.
because, but it's not just unique to you. Other people can achieve this, can't they? That's
Yeah, other people, it doesn't matter what age you are, other people. It's all about feeling your best,
yeah,
and if you put the right fuel in your body, you got to feel the best because putting all this other stuff in your body, you have a car, you're not going to put something like unleaded fuel, like petrol,
in a
gas
diesel.
into a
Yeah,
lead. Yeah, you're not going to do it
no,
because it's going to break down and it's not going to work. But you're doing
mm,
it to your body. Why?
yeah.
Though.
I know.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
simple. It's so
So
simple,
simple. Yeah,
but you have to keep repeating it because maybe something twigs and then someone
yeah, yeah.
changes their life. It's really key.
Yeah, you have to keep repeating because in my group, the group that I have, I'm repeating the questions. I'm repeating them so many times in the
Yeah,
30 days, man. It's just
yeah,
like people ask me the same question in a different format.
yeah, yeah. It's just that. Yeah, it's just that
Yeah,
repetition, though, isn't it?
it's
And
a repetition. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
eventually, it
absolutely.
sticks.
Absolutely sticks. Yeah, yeah.
And like you say, once people feel so good, they don't want to come off of this lifestyle.
Exactly.
It's just hard. It's hard to put into words how good you feel. Like for me personally, it's like a night and day difference. If I ever have cooked food, I'm like, "Phew," I notice it big time.
Right.
Have you ever had cooked food since you went fruitarian?
Uh Raw vegan, yes, 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 I have.
Like the
Yeah, yeah,
gourmet kind of.
yeah. But yeah, but the cooked food, yeah, yeah, no, tell her, no, I have had cooked food, but it doesn't. You know something? To be honest, the cooked food that I had didn't make me feel as bad as the raw vegan food
Mm,
because the raw vegan food has more, I guess, or
salt and
so,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It makes sense because like if you lightly steam something or boil it
right,
or something like that, it's not as
right,
harmful maybe as like I
yeah,
don't know dehydrating and then
yeah.
covering in salt and all these
Yeah,
concoctions.
yeah. I'm not
Yeah,
even saying it's not even about being harmful. It's about how it feels within your system. Just
yeah,
feels heavy and just like yuck. So
yeah.
yeah,
I think that's a big
yeah,
thing I've realized recently, going off how you feel, and
yeah,
that's something I picked up from you, just in our conversation now. Like, it's so important because there's so many different myths out there and theories, and like, oh, don't
right,
mix this with this. But until
yeah,
you do it for yourself, you'll never
yeah,
know.
yeah. I don't listen to anybody.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say. I just do what I do. People could be saying this and that, but I just say,
yeah,
something. You're not in my shoes. You don't know how I feel.
yeah. But
So
it's clearly working for you.
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
So how do you feel about? It's a little bit of a buzzword or an abstract concept, like
Uh-huh.
breatharians. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's a possibility?
Something that is something I cannot really answer because I'm not experiencing what they're experiencing, and I cannot say no. I
Yeah,
can't say that. If this is what they experience, this is what they're experiencing because what I'm experiencing, a lot of people don't believe what I'm experiencing. So
yeah,
for me to judge them and say no, it's not possible, then who am I? I'm trying to say because I'm getting the same thing from other people, so that's how I look at it.
yeah.
People will
True.
think, well, how can he do that? He can't do that. Blah blah blah. That's not really. So that's how I look at it. Yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, that's a great answer because,
Yeah,
like you say, kind of putting yourself in someone else's
the
shoes, or
shoes. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Because like for most people, our lifestyle, yours especially, is it's like really weird, isn't it? But you're
Right,
living
very
it.
weird. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
living
you're
it. Yep,
living.
and I feel great, you know. And yeah,
Yeah.
and my family is all with me for it because, you know,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How have you been supported on your journey? Because I admire the way you approach it. How your friends, they kind of embrace your lifestyle, and you don't you don't pay attention to what other people are saying. But so how have you been maybe supported on this journey? Have you felt like struggles with family or friends or anything like that?
I know, never, never,
Yeah.
because I walk the talk and I'm random, so they see me. They still don't see like I'm falling apart or anything like that. So
Yeah.
it really intrigues them that if I look like I was falling apart or blah blah blah, that'd be another story. Over the years, my mom, my sisters, my daughter, everybody, we just talk about it, and then I like to introduce my friends to vegan food, raw vegan food. I
Mm.
introduce them. I don't introduce them to fruits because they already eat fruits. They already know about
Mm.
fruits. But I introduce them to that aspect, so it's taking them away from what they normally eat.
Mm.
So, for instance, my mother, she eats meat just a little, but not much. When my family come here, they always eat vegan all the
Yeah.
time. My grandson is 4 years old. He's on the vegan diet. He's never eaten any meat at all.
Nice.
So that's how my influence over from me. What I've done is falling over into the family. So now when he grows up, he'll pass it on. You know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, like walking the walk and being the living proof and the example. It's the best thing I think people can do, rather than trying to
absolutely.
ram it down people's throats.
Right, right,
That
right. I
doesn't seem
don't.
to.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Oh
do any
yeah,
of that.
no,
Even on my Facebook page, I don't tell people what to do or eat. I
no,
just kind of
show them.
talk about what I do. And sometimes I get people come on there trying to think I'm trying to tell people. I said no. I said read my post. I said you can read any of my posts. I've never told people. I've never talked about you should do this and do that. I'm just talking about my lifestyle. I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
and then people get intrigued by that, and they're like, oh, let me maybe try this or blah blah blah. And
mm.
yeah,
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 it's the
yeah,
best
yeah,
way of
yeah,
just showing
yeah,
people, because that
yeah.
way they don't feel like you're like really trying to force them. But then, like you
Right,
say, you're just being the example,
right.
which is yeah, it's really good. And also, something I've realised is diet, it is important and that, but a lot of people think just because, oh, this person eats meat and I'm a raw vegan, I can't be friends with them. But it's so much more than diet, isn't it? Like
Yeah, that is,
you,
yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
you know?
Like you still live your life. I'm sure you still see the same friends, and there's more to life than food, isn't there?
Yeah, the majority of my friends, they all eat meat.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? All of them eat meat, and we all hang out. You
yeah,
know, I don't really hang out much, but we hang out. If we gotta go out to eat, you know what I mean? They'll come to one of my spots.
yeah,
You know what I'm trying to say? Because I've already introduced them to it. A couple of times I've had a couple of birthday gatherings here with friends and stuff, and what I've done, you know what I mean? There's alcohol. I don't drink, but there's alcohol in it and stuff like that. But the food, all the food, vegan and raw vegan and fruit. It's all
yeah,
laid out. They eat it. They're not vegan. They love the food. This is the reason why we don't have problems when it comes to that socialize. If we want to go out, they'll come to one of my spots because they know what the food tastes like. They don't have any preconceptions. Oh, this is rabbit food. Or they already know.
yeah,
So so yeah, yeah, and they like the
yeah,
food. When like especially that cooked vegan food. I mean, at the last party I had, I got like Caribbean cooked vegan food. And let me
yeah,
tell you something now. All that food was gone. I mean, I knew everybody would like it. What I did, I bought like little plates, like little trays that you can, take food home with you. I bought
yeah,
a whole stack because that's what everyone did.
yeah.
I said, you have to take this food because I'm not gonna eat it. You know what I mean? They just took
Mhm.
the food and took it home with them.
Nice.
So so yeah, that's how you introduce your friends, and just let them try it.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like you say, just like slowly expose them to it, and then a lot of
right,
people they grow to love it, and then they see you getting the amazing results.
right,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly. Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes, yes, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah.
so what are you kind of like? What are you passionate about? What drives you? Because obviously diet is the tool, and
Uh,
you share a lot about diet,
right.
and you've got your amazing community and challenges. But what kind of keeps you going? What are you using the diet to fuel? Like what are
Um,
your passions? What drives you?
well, I mean, I think the combination of everything that I do, the exercising, the
Yeah,
eating right, it all keeps me well. And when I say drives me, meaning that I love to travel. I like to get up and go, and that's what
Mm,
I do. It's like I'm living my best life.
yeah,
You know, coming 60, I'm able to do what everyone else is. You know, and even a lot of young people can't do what you know. So I'm able to go. I like to travel. I just like to enjoy life.
yeah,
You know, I'm just passionate about life. I'm just like I just want to live a good, healthy life, and I just want. It drives me to help other people if they want to live a healthy life. For me to give them that information,
hmm,
and that's really my passion because I really care about how people feel because I know they can feel better. A lot of people don't think they can. A lot of people never even felt good, but they don't even know what feeling good feels like because they've always
yeah,
felt crappy all the time.
yeah,
So that's what I'm about. You know, I just want people to. That's my passion. I want
yeah,
people to feel great about themselves.
yeah. Beautiful. It's
Yeah,
true. Like it's so hard to describe how good you can feel until you actually experience it
until you
firsthand.
experience it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
you,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can you can say how amazing it is, but like you say,
Uh
they
huh.
don't know what they're missing out on. But I've got a few questions from the viewers, if
Uh
you
huh.
don't mind. I'll just pull them up now. And they asked, so what form of ailments did you experience prior to becoming a fruitarian? And how much time did the body adjust to fully combat all of his ailments? Now, you didn't actually experience any health.
I've
No,
never had any health issues because I
no,
started. It was more about prevention than cure.
yeah,
So I started before. If not to say, well, you know, as I said, I always thought that at a certain age you got to get something, but I started before that even happened. So I didn't experience any health issues whatsoever.
that you did. Was it just on the fruits you lost weight, or didn't you have quite a rapid
Yeah, no,
transformation?
I lost the weight from the when I first started the vegan diet.
Vegan, yeah.
Yeah, because I cut out everything that was bad for you. You know,
Hmm.
I went. Yeah, I was in the gym for at the time it was the gym. This was like back in the 90s. Open at 4 o'clock in the mornings. I would work out, then I go to work, blah blah blah. You know, and I trained. I'd stop drinking alcohol because I was drinking alcohol at the time, and I was drinking water. This before I was a fruitarian, and the weight came off like 50 pounds in 8 weeks, and I
Amazing.
kept it off. You know,
Mm,
like 20 something years later, you know, still kept it off.
yeah. I think that's
Yeah,
quite important. Like we said before, I just want to reiterate, it's kind of what
right,
you're not putting in the body. So, like,
right.
even that vegan was such a massive step up from what you were currently
Oh
eating.
yeah, yeah. There's many steps to health. I told you there
Mm,
are many different steps. If you're way down here, take a step up and
yeah.
gradually keep on going up. There's many steps because you're always whatever you do, whatever you make change. If you even a really bad eater, you make a small change in your diet, you always feel the benefits from it.
Mm, yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
So, they also asked, what's your viewpoint on supplementation?
supplementation is $1 trillion business. We don't need supplements because supplements have a shelf life, say like 2 years. You know,
Hmm.
so you think about it, you have a supplement, say a vitamin C supplement, and you can keep it on the shelf for 2 years. But in the vitamin C supplement, it only can capture the vitamin C. You're gonna miss out all those micro. There's like thousands of micronutrients within vitamin C or vitamin D or whatever. There's so many of them that work in synergy together, and you cannot capture everything. You just got an isolate. Supplements are isolate. A body
Mm,
cannot work off of isolate because a chain is as strong as its weakest link. If something is missing, it's not going to work. When you come into eating vitamin C rich foods or whatever, it have a shelf life of a couple of days before it wilts. That means it's dying. So
yeah.
if you're eating something that you can take for 2 years, what does that tell you?
Yeah.
It's already dead.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I personally believe, like you say, the body, it can't recognize this. It's foreign.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
foreign.
it's not natural. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I agree on that. How do you feel about like B12? Because a lot of people say, oh, aren't you deficient in B12? Or where'd you get your B12?
Right. B12, and that's the thing, the body doesn't work, run off isolated nutrition. In a healthy body, B12 is recycled in the body. The amount of B12 a person needs within their life, it's like, you see that little, just even a little tip on that's how much, it's very little. It
Yeah.
sounds a lot, but it's a very little. That's all you need. It's recycled in a healthy body. A lot of time people deficient in anything is because through drugs, antibiotic use, because many people taking all these medications, it will
Mm,
deplete your microbiomes in your system. That's what it does. Now, if you haven't been through a life with all that depletion, then you're good to go. But there is B12 in fruits, different type of fruits like kiwis, blackberries, but I don't look at stuff like that. It's not, oh, what fruit has this? No, you know what I mean? Just eat,
mm,
the body, as I said, B12 is a bacteria, and as I said, it can be recycled in the body. As a baby, we are all born with a sterile immune system. That means there's nothing in there, you know what I mean? Once the baby starts eating that, that's where the immune system starts building up. Everything is in there. Everything is in there. It's
mm.
not about trying to maximize something within your body. It's all about minimizing the loss.
Yeah, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Because have you heard of Lauren Lockman?
Yes, I have. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, he touched on a similar thing in terms of the B12. Just
Mm-hmm.
basically, his whole thing is cleaning out the body so it can do what it's meant to do. Then,
Absolutely.
then it can produce the B12 or recycle it at least,
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And a lot of the numbers and like the metrics, like for blood tests and things, we've got to remember they're studying unhealthy individuals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's just blood serum, isn't it? It's not just because something's in the bloodstream, it doesn't mean it's being used by the cells.
Absolutely. And people who, there are people who have cancer, or certain type of diseases, you know what I mean? They get blood work back and it's normal, but they have cancer.
Yeah,
Everything to do with health is the lymphatic system, not the
yeah,
blood. And that's something that doctors don't really know much about, is the lymphatic system.
yeah, yeah. Dr. Morse touches on that a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah,
absolutely.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree 100%. So I want to be conscious of your time here. So
All right.
we're going to end with 10 rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Now, the idea is to come up with the answers as quickly as possible or with
Okay.
intuition, but I don't mind slightly longer answers. But yeah,
Okay.
anyway, number one, what's your favorite fruit? If you had to pick.
Mangoes.
Nice.
Mangoes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it depends on season, but mangoes.
Yeah, nice, nice. I'm liking the speed.
Right, right.
Describe yourself in one word.
Uh, Fit, energetic, loving, love people. Just want to, yeah, fit and energetic.
I'll take the two words.
Right, right.
That's good. What's one thing that everyone needs to buy?
My ebook.
What's the ebook?
My ebook is I have an ebook written about everything I'm talking about. It's all in the book.
Amazing. Okay,
Hmm.
we'll talk about that in a minute as well.
Right.
What's one book that everyone needs to read?
My book, ebook.
Yeah, nice. I'm liking this. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
To be yourself.
Mm. Who did you hear that from, or was that intuition?
I heard that from my mother.
Yeah, great advice. Great advice. What are three things that you can't live without?
My cell phone.
Yeah, I have to agree at the minute.
Yeah, my cell phone. Oh, that's a hard one. I love traveling, so I need to travel,
Yep.
and time alone.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
important.
yeah, time
That's
alone.
yeah, really getting to know oneself.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your greatest strength and what's your biggest weakness?
My greatest strength is to help people. My weakness strength is still trying to help people who don't want to be helped.
Ah, okay, so
Um,
yeah,
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 yeah, if
that's
that
kind of
makes
like a
any sense.
double-edged sword. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's commendable, but you're saying maybe you don't know when to give up, almost.
Right, right,
Yeah, but I still think that's good. Yeah.
right,
Uh,
right.
what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
I will tell my 20-year-old self that, oh my God, that's a hard one.
Yeah, I know.
I would tell my 20-year-old self to just try and focus on what you really want to do, whatever whatever you have a passion for, to do it and go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I didn't do that at the time, but that's what I would tell them now. Tell myself now. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure. Life's too short to
Yeah, yeah,
waste it doing things you don't like.
yeah.
Do you believe in having a purpose? If so, what's your purpose in life?
My purpose in life, I do believe I have a purpose, and my purpose in life is to help people, and that's all. I know that's my calling.
Yeah, and you're doing it every day,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And finally, what are you grateful for today?
Um, I'm grateful for good friends, good family. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful that God allowed me to have everything that I need in my life right now. I'm really humbled about it. Sometimes I pinch myself, but I really am. Yeah, I really do. Sometimes
Amazing.
the things that I've been manifesting and stuff like that. It's just amazing. And sometimes I just pinch myself. Is this really real? Is this really happening? And it really is. So it's like, and I'm really humbled about it.
Yeah, beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful. So, yeah, as we
yeah,
alluded to, the ebook and things like
right,
that, can you let the people know where they can find you, what you got
right.
going on? Just, yeah.
Yes, so
Awesome.
I have a fruit feast challenge every other month. The next one is November the 1st, which is in a couple of days.
Yeah, yeah.
It's for 30 days, and you can get the information on my website, which is my name, Orvel Douglas, which is ORVELDOUGLAS.com. You can go on my website, and there's a video on the homepage. You can listen to the video and it'll tell you exactly what the challenge is about.
Hmm.
The ebook is also on the website, and the ebook is like the Bible towards the challenge, because everything that I talk about within the challenge, it's in the ebook.
Hmm.
So after the challenge is over, it's always a new group that's created, and the group is only on Facebook. Yeah, I forgot to mention that it's not on Instagram; it's only on Facebook, because Instagram doesn't allow me to have a group. It's only on Facebook. So if you have a Facebook account, then create an account, and then once you join the challenge, then you'll get an audio. When you download the challenge, you get an audio file asking you to send me a message to Facebook Messenger. And also, I have a promo code for the ebook that will give you $10 off the ebook. The ebook is $37 without the challenge, and $27 with the challenge. I'll give you that promo code. You can use that at the checkout. You can find me on Instagram at black_fruitarian 1964. You can find my Facebook page, Orvel Douglas Fruitarian Lifestyle, and the website orveldouglas.com.
Amazing. I'll link it all in the
Thank you.
description below as
Thank
well
you.
for people. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for your time, man. Is there anything
You're
else?
welcome.
Anything else you wanted to touch on?
No, this is great. You've covered everything. You've asked some amazing questions, and I really appreciate you asking me to come on your show. I really do. I'm glad, I was able to take the time out and
Yeah,
speak with you. Yeah,
likewise. It's been a mutual
yeah,
pleasure.
yeah. Thank you.
Peace and love, everybody.
All right.